Hello and welcome to the Sacred Gates Ascension podcast. My name is Illura and we're talking about the higher self. The higher self, there are a few things that we need to know about the higher self. The higher self comes through our being, through the first sacred gate, which is to observe yourself. Another thing about the higher self is that it is free. It is free of all the social constructs. It is free of all the constructs that you've accumulated in your lower self from your family, like I said, social, so from society as well, from the media, which is part of society. There are a lot of constructs, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whatever it is all these constructs, what race you are, all these kinds of things that get dumped onto the consciousness, onto ourselves, stored in our body. The higher self transcends all that. It has nothing to do with that. So when it comes through, it actually through the space that we create for it in our physical body, in our mental body. You can watch my video on letting go for that. Then we're able to experience the wisdom and power of the higher self. The higher self, it's like it's got a Google map and it's spreading out that screen and pulling you and zooming you up and out so you can see a much vaster perspective of yourself and your life. And so the higher self, another thing, it's not punitive. The higher self does not punish you. If you are blocking your higher self, you'll end up punishing yourself, your own lower self, your existence on the planet and your mechanics and functions and systems and not being on that higher self path will cause you to suffer more, and because you end up stuck in the lower self. So that's punitive enough. That is actually what punishes you. Your higher self does not punish you. If you decide not to go on that path, or you keep blocking it and picking it up, blocking it and picking it up, blocking it and picking it up for years and years, for an entire lifetime, and you feel crap because of that, it's not your higher self that's punishing you. That is not how it works. The higher self is also extremely perceptive and aware, and it knows what your highest potential is. When you connect to your higher self, you become aware very easily, very naturally, very clearly, because there's a lot of clarity with the higher self because of that perspective, that Google Maps, of your inner masteries. Your inner masteries come out. And the last thing I wanted to say on the higher self is extremely important. The higher self is actualized through our physical body. If we are not training our physical body and allowing our physical body to develop the higher self body, the temple for our higher self to come through, it's not going to come through as quickly and as clearly, and the path is not going to be as sustained. Especially if you could be doing a physical practice and doing some dangerous things, and that's also going to lead to a non-sustaining connection with the higher self, just due to the fact that you're maybe potentially screwing around with some natural laws in your body that are going to shut down the higher self connection due to overload of spiritual energy. I'll do another video on the Kundalini awakening and Kundalini syndrome for that. And so the higher self needs a vessel to enter through. Those higher energies need to come through. Now, if your body's all blocked up and your networks and conduits and your body is not optimized for the higher self to come through, it's just not going to come through in the same way. Now, originally, this is the original purpose of yoga and many of the body art traditions. Teshara is just like that. It's a body art to help you get your hardware, your physical body, in alignment and ready for the software that's going to come through, just like a computer. So it's important that we have a practice of physical art in which to develop those higher bodies, those higher frequencies, because you can either not get those higher frequencies due to your body being blocked, or you develop your body in a dangerous way, a non-sustaining way that will overload your system and not be able to allow those high energies to come through. The body has to be ready, it has to be prepared, and there are a lot of negative experiences that people go through, and that's for another video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye bye for now.